Okay, so let's see how this goes. This is our start. That's Sarah starting, because we haven't started yet. That's what you start with. So, I believe we are drawing Pumbaa. Oh yeah, and our pencils don't have any erasers. They're all gone. Sarah says, so Sarah can make just a little mistake. I can't make any. So, yeah.
Hello everybody! Good morning! Welcome to the animation experience. My name is Brian. Hello everyone. And this morning we are drawing Pumbaa! Yeah, who loves Pumbaa? Awesome, good. Most of you. That's good, that's good. Some of you, not so much. That's okay. You can take a nap while we're drawing. That's fine. We'll wake you up when we're done. Let's make sure you guys have everything. Does everybody have a paper with a slightly circlish oval on it and some guidelines? Yeah. Fantastic, awesome. That's going to cut out some time having that on there, where I don't need to teach you guys how to draw that stuff. So you can practice that on your own. You're welcome. Draw Pumbaas all over your house if you want to later on. I would say circle, but that really isn't a circle. It's a little taller than it is wide, so it's an oval.
It's an oval.
But, yeah. Let's see, pencils. Everybody have pencils? Perfect, awesome. A few of you have pencils. The rest of you just either don't have pencils or you're just done with me already. You're like, I'm not just going to... He asked one question too many now, so I'm done. Those pencils may or may not have erasers on them. If they do have erasers on them, I challenge you not to use them. That's right, because this is the animation experience, not the cleanup artist experience. So, much like in animation, we have a deadline. I have to teach you how to draw this in 20 minutes. In animation, they have to draw hundreds of drawings in one day. They don't have time to erase anything. So they hand all of their drawings off to what's called the cleanup department. The cleanup department gets paid considerably less to erase everything all day long. So just designate somebody in your household the cleanup department, problem solved. And so we've got our oval, we've got our guidelines. We're going to go to the second guideline from the top right here. And what we're going to do is we're going to draw just a tiny little hill. It's going to be to the left right here, so we're going to create this little 90-degree angle, and then we're going to draw a little curve so we get this hill, like that. And what we're going to do is I'm going to just draw a curve on this line, and I'm going to pull it up a little bit higher on the right-hand side of the guideline. So we get this little curve like this. Like so. Now his nose is actually shaped like a melty Hershey's Kiss, or dumpling. And so what we're going to do now is we're going to go from this hill over here. I'm going to pull this line out, and I'm going to curve around to connect to that line. Like so. And then on the right-hand side, I'm going to curve it in a little bit more. So. And we're going to loop around. We're going a little bit higher on this side. And curve around. So we get this melty Hershey's Kiss.
Right.
Alright. Once you get a shape on there that looks somewhat like the shape that I drew, we're just going to go back over our lines. The other one will be a little bit higher up because the nose is tilted up a little bit higher on that side.
No!
Yes.
I don't want it.
Yes, you do.
No!
Yeah, you do. Also, using the tip of your pencil to shade, have you seen the tip of your pencil? You got about as much space as a pinhead on there. Not a whole lot of space to do a huge amount of shading with, right? But if you turn your pencil to the side, all of a sudden, you notice this entire length of lead that the manufacturer of this pencil created for you to use, not to neglect.
Sarah still hasn't finished shading yet.
Instead of just this tiny little point on the end, right? And we're going to curve up so we just come right up where these lines are crossing, just above that, and connect around connect their tusks together. Warthogs are the largest of the burrowing animals. They use their noses and their tusks.
Underneath the nose.
These tusks are
That's horrible.
obviously
But
for
okay.
defense. Now what they'll do is they will burrow a hole that's exactly the size of their bodies. And then what happens is if they
Mine is looking
predators, if they have a
magnificent.
lion or something coming up
Magnificent,
to try to eat
that's
them,
what I meant.
they will back up into that
Sarah's
hole.
is looking way better
so
than
nothing
mine
else
is.
can get in. Like that. That's going to signify the gums.
So,
Over here, because everything's a little bit higher up and tilted on this side,
mine is all
we're
sorts
just
of
going to run
messed
it right into the side of the oval. And Pumbaa was voiced by Ernie Sabella in the original film. And of course, Nathan Lane was Timon. They actually worked together on Broadway in Guys and Dolls.
Oh, that's what it's
They were
supposed to
good
be
friends,
looking like,
and,
with a giant hand in it.
Nathan Lane convinced
And
Ernie Sabella
This,
to
this is
audition
what
for
mine
working
looks
with him.
like.
They actually got cast as the hyenas. But in just as soon as the producers
Perfect.
saw... Alright, so now we get into the meat of the character, or the bacon, if you will. Now what we want to do is we want to go above the corners of the mouth right here, these dimples. Now with his mouth like this, in animated characters, this curve is going to push up and create a curve almost exactly the same above it, which is the cheek. So halfway between these two lines, on the inside of your oval, you're going to draw a curve so that it's in a position where you could pinch his cheek. So you just reach in there and go pinch. I'm going to zoom in for
Yours
you.
looks much better than mine
Just
does.
a little bit. Just a little bit of zooming in, just a tiny bit. All right, now we are going to draw tiny little circles. Bottom of the eye. And we're going to go right back over them again. Tiny little circles. Inside those tiny little circles, we see a glimmer of light reflecting off of that, which is really going to give life to our character. Just a little oval in there. Really fill in. So while we're up here, we're going to go ahead and draw these rounded off shark fin shapes coming from the guideline by the side of the eyebrow and curving down by the gums. Now these are not actually warts. They are fatty deposits. They basically work like shoulder pads, kind of. They cushion the blow when they use their heads to do things like digging or fighting. The ears are going to go way up towards the top of our paper. So if you're wondering about how big you're going to make these things, you're going to go up just a little bit below the top of the paper.
I already
So
have
we're going
ears.
to
Look
start
at
by
that.
drawing a really
I'm way
light,
ahead of the
kind of
game.
backwards letter D.
Sarah's
Just gonna
looks
start
way
from the middle
better.
of the eye, and just very lightly, I'm going to draw a curve going up towards the top of the paper. And then we're going to pull it out and kind of angle it out so it looks sort of like a paper football. We are going to start from the middle of the eyebrow, pretty much in the same spot, but I'm going to very, very lightly draw a straight line, which is going to go kind of out so we're straight up from the tusk there. And then we're going to create this kind of hard shell taco. I know if you really love tacos, you probably don't love hard shell tacos. You're probably a purist. You're like, hard shell tacos, it's not a thing. We're going to start on the guideline in the middle, and I'm just going to draw this kind of curvy line to help us out. So, like an S-curve. And then we're just going to pencil in a bunch of hair, whether it be a long hair, short hair. It's going to look kind of like he's got a bush growing out of the top of his head. If you don't feel comfortable with this, you can give him a mohawk, a mullet, afro, whatever you want to give him. As you guys are finishing up, take a look at your drawings, take a look at the wall to your right, you will see a plethora of very legendary Disney artists on the wall. One of them you may recognize as being Walt Disney. You wouldn't be here without him. Or you might be, but you'd be sitting in a swamp. He is drawing on a lab board just like you, drawing Bambi.
So,
all of those people on the wall right there are
mine.
drawing from life. They're using animal inspiration
There's
just like
Sarah's.
you guys are now part of that same Disney legacy. Give yourselves a round of applause.
Woo!
But to finish up your drawing, you gotta sign it. And another thing I learned, unfortunately late in life, you gotta date your artwork too. But buy flowers first.
So we're done drawing our art. You can't see mine because it's folded.
It was really fun.
It was very fun.
Our animator's name was Brian.
Brian.
Which is my brother's name.
Oh, that's good. I'll remember that. But yeah, I'm a rebel because I didn't name or date my drawing. So didn't sign and date it. So Sarah did. But now I think we're heading off towards Expedition Everest. Heading off to Expedition Everest. And let's see. It disappears. Wow. Okay, so this place has been under construction for like 20 years now. So I have pictures. Supposedly every so often they move these vehicles and stuff. So, yep. Heading off to Expedition Everest now. So there's hidden Mickeys, right? There. Hidden Mickey. Oh, well, that's disappointing. Look at all of these hair ties up here. I found a magic band up here once. Oh no! Bye! Fun ride! Woo! Wow, once again another awesome ride on Expedition Everest.
Dorito fun.
Very fun.
Doritos?
I've been doing some pin trading as we've been walking around, so I'll show you some of the other pins that I've gotten today. But right now we are heading off to eat some lunch. So I think we're gonna go over to Restaurantosaurus and then probably get something from Dino Bites because we've got a list of all kinds of desserts and treats and stuff.
Yeah, we haven't actually gotten many of them, but we've gotten a couple.
Yes, so that's just kind of what's going on today.
Yeah.
And yeah, we don't have the June bug with us today.
Not today.
So, yep, she's home with Nana.
Yay!
So,
They're probably at the pool.
They're definitely at the pool.
She was napping. She sent me a picture earlier. She fell
So-
asleep.
So, yep, off we go to get some food.